Hello, welcome to Shooting Spitballs. This is the podcast where we drag under the microscope a whole manner of real-world video production scenarios, and then we figure out how to handle them when the unexpected hits on set. My name's Martin from Shot and Strong Films, and after years of shooting in all kinds of tricky situations, I'm here to pass on what I've learnt to new emerging video shooters that are looking for real, honest, practical advice. Advice that's going to help them stay sharp and adapt fast when things take a turn for the worst on set, which they often will do, believe me. In today's episode, I'm joined once again by Geoff and Matthew as we dive into the highs and lows of filming actors' showreels on location. We talk about how to work around the usual suspects, shifting light, finding the best camera angles, and of course, the perfectly timed overhead plane that somehow knows exactly when you hit record. Shall we fly into it? Okay, welcome back, guys. It's like you haven't been away.
Yeah, a couple of weeks between these.
What have you been up to since I last saw you?
So much, really.
Yeah.
Lots going on. Too much to list, really.
Yeah. Same.
We'll
be here for ages.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Right then. For people who don't know who you are, obviously you've been on before. So, Geoff, let's give a quick intro to the viewers and listeners at home. Hopefully they're viewing.
I run Silvertip Films. It's a video production company. I'm based in Horsham in West Sussex. Mm-hmm. You work with me quite a bit.
Yes.
Theatre, music, corporate promos, interviews, a bit of live streaming sometimes, and in a wide range of subjects, isn't it? Really? Yeah, golf clubs, warehouse things, Shakespeare shows, all sorts of stuff.
And podcasts.
Yeah.
But we won't go into that because you'll talk for hours about Doctor Who.
Yeah, I run a Doctor Who podcast.
Stop! There you go.
Who Corner to Corner.
And over to you, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm Matthew Rowley. Very similar sort of things to you. Run matboxfilm.com. And camera operator, filmmaker, short little documentaries, corporate stuff. I've got a bit of a sideline in live music. Absolutely love filming live music. If it needs a camera, I'm there to point a camera at it, basically.
I always call you Rowley. I'll call you Rowley from now on.
Yes, please.
I never knew that. So sorry.
It's fine.
Right.
It's 2 strikes.
So we all know why we're here, don't we?
Yep.
Right. So Matthew, you're sitting in the hot seat again. So do you want to open the show?
Yeah. I'll press the special button.
We can look at the second image as well, just to give you some context. So it's an empty park bench somewhere in the UK. And go back to the first one. Yeah, what do we see there?
Oh, we're on a flight path.
Okay.
Which I'm already guessing is going to be a bit interesting.
Sun and cloud.
That one's not real.
Okay. So you're wondering what the hell are you doing here? Right, let's you've been asked to do the old classic, I've certainly done them, actors showreel. For 2 budding amateur actors. And they're going to have like a 5-minute dialogue on this bench. I always think Afterlife when I look at that picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that is a good show, isn't it? Yeah. Did you cry?
No.
Oh, you are a harder man than me.
I did really. No. They've asked you, it's 2 actors. You've got 1 camera. They've asked you to do your master wide. Mm-hmm. And then just 2 alternating close-ups.
Mm-hmm.
So who did we go to first in the last episode?
It was me.
Yeah, I was second.
All right, so let's start with you, Matthew.
Okay.
How are you going to approach this?
Well, I've noticed that we've got in our shot here, we've got an aeroplane. In fact, we've got airplanes in both shots, I believe.
Was that a bird?
Is that a bird? Is it a bird? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's definitely not Superman.
Just we can keep this in. Don't mention anything about flight paths and the weather. Just sort of from a sound perspective and framing perspective.
Okay.
Let's deep dive into that first.
Okay. So I'd mic both our actors.
Yeah.
I'd try and hide a lapel on them. I'd hide it in their clothing. wherever I can hide it so it's not visible. And I guess for an actor show, a bit like when we were speaking about the house tours, the audience wants to see the space and not necessarily your camera work.
Yeah.
It's similar with this. With you want to see the actors. We're focusing on the actors doing that thing rather than us being particularly flash with our camera
about
work.
what we're doing.
Yeah, it's not our show reel; it's their show reel.
Yeah.
Nice, clear shots so you can see everything. Don't obscure anything too much. Don't go too arty. Don't dirty up the shot with someone's shoulder too much because you don't want to detract from their acting. But yeah, get a nice, I guess, get the nice wide. Run the whole scene in a wide, and then focus on close ups for each actor.
What would you use? 50mm?
Yeah, probably 50's a nice focal length. Not for the wide though.
And what camera would you bring to this?
I'd probably shoot on my so I would shoot on a Sony FX9.
Yeah,
I'd probably shoot on something like that. It's it's got built-in NDs, so it's useful for shooting in real conditions if it's a bit bright. Or
and what if you were shooting on your A7S Mark II? I guess you just bring a ND filter.
Exactly. I'd bring in a variable ND for that. Yeah, so I don't have to. So I can leave my aperture and my shutter where they are.
Yeah. And
just knock down the light like that. So don't be messing with shutter speeds or anything like that.
Okay. And you, Geoff?
Yeah, very similar to Matthew. Wide shot, and then a couple of close-ups on them. And I would obviously, stick to the 180 line. So we're looking at the back of the bench. There we are. So I would probably, if the bench was here, shoot them this way, and then like that coming at them rather than sort of a back shot. Do you know what I mean? Onto the others, onto the other one.
For the people that can't be bothered to view the slides or the video, you're holding your left hand up.
Yep.
Is that the bench?
Yep.
And I'm looking at it. Is that from?
So you're the viewer.
Okay.
So my bench is the.
Is that behind the bench or the front of the bench?
This is the front of the bench here.
So I'm looking at the front of the bench.
Should we have the viewer here so the camera can see?
Let's do that. Yeah. So this is the bench, and this is the camera. And they're sitting facing outwards. So I'd shoot there, and then I'd come in here on them rather than
behind
doing a back wide and then a sort of cross shoulder shot.
Overly arty, yeah.
Yeah, again, because exactly like you said, it's about them, and I would want to get a nice depth of field to the shot, but I wouldn't want to be dirtying it up with a bit of shoulder poking in, and I'd want to, in advance, figure out what the moves are going to be for it, and basically run it through. Because I've done a few actor scenes where people come in, stand, do a few lines, come and sit down. Right, okay, well, how do I get all of that? And trying to make it slightly dynamic, but again without it being bogged down in loads of shots and angles, and also then making the edit difficult when you get in and go, oh god, these two shots don't cut together because this reason and stuff like that.
And we're in a real environment. The light's likely to going to be changing if we're outside. We don't want to have like 2 hours between our two shots, because then as we cut between them, it's clearly shadows are going to be over the place. The light is going to be different,
and sound issues as well. Plane goes over in one take, but it's not there in the next one. So you've got to blend that out when the next line comes in, and they can be tricky when you're shooting in a real space. Sometimes I've seen acting scenes done. There's a boom op, and all of the a mini crew, and if you can budget for it, great. But often actors can't, and so it's about doing a good, solid job for them and making it workable. And again, it's about them.
Yeah.
I've seen acting reels, lots of close-ups on things, and it's a great dramatic actiony thriller scene or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not really about them.
And a casting director doesn't care about how good the video looks. We care, and the actor might care how good the video looks. But a casting director just wants to see what they look like, how they act.
And it goes back to what we were talking about last time. Sometimes, the situation is what it is, the project is what it is. You make it look as best you can, but you have to remember it's about them. It's not ours. You know what I mean. It's not undervaluing it, but. You make it look as good as you can. You haven't got time or resources to do a tracking shot on it.
Because you'd love to make it for you, but you're making it for the client. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
If you could have a medium wide shot looking at the front of the bench, and they were kind of quite cosy, you could maybe possibly bring a C-stand, a sandbag, and boom it?
Yeah.
Considering you don't have to bring any lighting with you.
Yeah.
Working on the basis like we're getting the train to this location. You could just about do that, couldn't you?
Could. I would be more inclined to, again, might come up with a lapel,
You would.
like you said, just because then it's picking up more voice than background, which might make it easier in the edit if you're starting to have to, bodge things together. And if you needed to do a bit like dialogue isolation in Resolve, for example, you could get a better cleanup out of a lapel recording than a boom that is more general, perhaps.
Yeah, I would probably leave it to, particularly if I'm like single person shooting this, I'd try and keep kit to a minimum. Obviously, ideally, shooting dialogue, I'd have a boom operator, but of course they're going to have to be moving the boom between each person as they speak, which won't be possible if I'm having to monitor my camera and audio levels and everything at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be moving a boom. So I would probably leave it to
Yeah, I'd say
lavs.
it's difficult on the wide shot.
Yes.
Because especially when I try and the pickup pattern's not going to get them both. It would be more beneficial for the close up, but yeah, lapels work.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah. For this sort of thing, yeah. Ideally, yeah. If it was an actual film, I'd have a sound to record this.
Yeah.
But and then this is also quite a sunny shot. You got to worry about the shadow from the boom, and if we're in a real space with maybe members of the public walking through. No, I've got public liability insurance, but I'd rather not use it. I don't want people tripping over stuff or
For sure.
try and keep it to a minimum footprint.
Okay. Right, let's shake things up, shall we?
Okay.
I think it's you, Matthew. We're just so this is not from the actors, this is from the manager who's there also.
Okay.
Or maybe it could be a friend.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, let's have a listen, shall we? Geoff, I'm just a little bit worried about these planes going over and what that's going to do to the dialogue, when you're cutting between all the angles and that. What do you reckon on that?
I'd say it's Matthew, not Geoff. I don't know where you got Geoff from.
So when you get an email that says, "Hello, Nigel,"
Cheers.
When you were replying to an email from me.
I clearly don't know my left and right on these buttons. Should we go to you then, Geoff?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I would try to, relieve their fears a little bit. It's a real environment. Things happen, and I think it's good to, sometimes we get this in interview situations. It's good to have a bit of background noise to show where you are, what's going on, and like we said, lapel, kind of the voice is up here, the background is down there, and the kind of volume levels. So I would keep quite a close ear on what was going on around, and if I, had a loud noise, not necessarily cut over the dialogue, but kind of get in the way of it a little bit, get them to do a line again to have a clean version, or be thinking, right, can I, like I said earlier, could I fade that in to another take that we've already done, of the next line of dialogue or something. But I would want to be better focus on things for them and not be getting too much into, so could you do that line again? Could you just do that one again? So, it's enacting real, like I said, it's about them. And, if we have a bit of, not bad sound, but, suddenly a plane disappears in the soundscape sooner than you would think, then that's what we have to do.
Yeah, you just got to work with the situation you've got as well. And particularly, like you don't want to be, like you're saying, don't want to start them too much.
Yeah.
If you're filming a showreel for an actor, they probably haven't got a huge amount of experience, because otherwise they would be using showreel of stuff they've already got.
Yeah.
So they might not be as experienced.
Yeah.
So you constantly stopping them might actually make their performance worse. You might get a really good performance the first time. There's a bit of an audio gonk in the background, but you've got a really good performance. Whereas they might be like take 8 now that they finally changed the flight routing, and then they're knackered.
Yeah,
I've been giving it 100% the whole time.
Because you get that first take, it's 95% fine. Right, let's move on to the next angle. Then we'll cover the wide. Actually, let's go back again. We're in the swing of it now, and kind of cover the need to get it again through that without kind of knocking the confidence and wrecking things for them a little bit. Because you're totally right there.
Is there a case that you could record the planes as they are, separately.
Create a wild track.
Yeah. And then if you find out sort of on one take, you're on a close-up of the actor who's on the left and they're talking. And then we cut to the right. And you find out that that's their best take, which has a plane in. Could you not kind of blend the planes together?
Yeah,
You know what
put
I mean?
it in as you're going like shot, reverse shot.
So it's not just abrupt, it's kind of you're just mixing it together.
Yeah, just move it in. Yeah, if he's in the background of
we're going very far-fetched here, but
Yeah, there's things you could do. Or you could perhaps, do audio cleanup to remove all the background stuff and then double wild track in underneath.
yeah.
You could do that. It's a lot better now these days to use something like that.
Yeah.
It's not technically an AI.
No. What is that called in DaVinci Resolve?
Voice isolation.
Voice isolation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or dialogue isolation.
Yeah.
I know where it is, but I can't remember what it's called.
Okay.
It's brilliant though.
All right. Yeah, good stuff. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Geoff? No? Is it Matthew? Is it Geoff?
Who am I?
Here we go. Yeah, hi Matthew. Sorry, we picked a right day for it, haven't we, with these clouds and the sun coming in and out. God! How are we going to do that with the, when the sun's on their face and then it's kind of dark and light? I'm a bit worried about that. How do we overcome this? That's a very worried manager.
God, that really sold it to me.
So ideally, looking at the sun in these photos, it's coming in from the left.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it would be quite directional, I guess, on both of them.
Yeah.
As it's slowly heading east. No,
West.
West. It always
Rising the east, sets in the west. But yeah, it's classic. And it's shooting outside, if you've got sort of like broken cloud, like bright sunlight, it's consistent. It doesn't look great on people's faces, but it's at least consistent. Overcast doesn't look great in a wide shot, but there's a lovely soft light on people's faces.
Yeah.
I've filmed weddings or photographed friends' weddings. They're going, oh, it's all really cloudy now. The photos can look rubbish. Like, no, you're going to look great because you're under some really nice, bright, soft light.
You're going
to look wonderful.
I'd rather have a bit of cloud in the sky, to soften that sunlight. Whereas, when it's really bright blue sky, no clouds, people go, oh, what a lovely day for it. Actually, no.
And then you're like squinting and shiny, and
your depth of field is gone.
Big shadow of your nose across your face and everything. But yeah, I guess if it's sort of broken cloud, every few minutes we're getting a cloud go across the sun. That probably the thing I would just pause for.
Just time it.
I think just time it. Yeah. And if it's a dialogue scene and we're cutting between two people's angles, this is the sort of thing you could get away with covering by doing shot, reverse shot, cut to reaction shot. Yeah. If it does creep over a shot, but I would try and pause it, and maybe if I can, if it's not too obtrusive, use a diffuser for the close-up shots just to knock out if it's really harsh. If it's going between like harsh sunlight and then a cloud, maybe during the harsh sunlight scenes have.
So what would you recommend for a newbie videographer?
So I've got
5-in-1.
Yeah, I've got one of those that I take on so many shoots. Yeah, I can use one that's like a 1 meter diameter.
Yeah.
Folds flat, and it's a silver reflector, a warm reflector, a diffuser, and something else.
Black.
Yeah, negative fill. Yeah,
negative fill is the industry
really
word.
Yeah, really useful. Something you can sling in your kit bag.
Yeah. That would cover sort of this.
Yeah, for a close up. Yeah, and if it's quite close, it can then be right behind the camera.
Yeah.
You'd have to worry about getting it in shot.
And you can probably do that yourself because you're probably going to have it's going to be a fixed shot. Right?
Yeah.
So you don't need an extra pair of hands, ideally. Yeah.
But that manager is around, so he could always hold a.
Yeah, he's not doing much.
They could always hold a reflector.
Yeah. There you go. Hold that.
Yeah, it's always part of the any shooting under natural light is always you're dealing with stuff like this.
So yeah, two options there: reflector, 5-in-1. Negative fill, or the timing of the clouds.
I think a bit of both. I think I would try if it's going to be mad and we're not going to get anything shot. If the sun is constantly coming in and out, you might just have to run with it in your edit.
And it's also like you said earlier, you don't want to kind of disrupt the actors too much for saying, "Oh, sorry, stop off this line. Just wait 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes." Because worst case, you might have to stay longer on a shot in the edit. Go back to the wide shot and have 2 lines on it or something if you can't get into decent close-up because the light has kind of wrecked it or something.
And maybe sort of, I guess you can't move that bench, but I guess you do have to be mindful of what the background is behind the actor, especially when the sun's coming in and out. You want to shoot into something dark, like the trees, and not ideally get a skyscraper in the background, which is going to blow up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, if
obviously that's dependent on that situation.
Yes. Yeah, if they're married to the idea of the bench, I mean, we're in a park here. We could be under the trees in a bit of shade, where the sun coming in and out of behind clouds is going to affect mostly the background of the shot, which you'd get away with a bit more.
Yeah.
But if we're stuck on the bench,
you're stuck on the bench.
Stuck on the bench.
Yeah, you could have an establishing shot, as kind of what we're looking at there, with the plane going over, like just hear 10 seconds of it, and then cut to the other side, just to give you a reference, I guess.
Yeah, because then the audience sees a plane.
Yeah, then the scene, the location of it all is established.
It's diegetic, isn't it? Or is it diegenic sound? What's the diegetic with the T? Yeah,
never heard of that.
Diegetic sound. So if you can see the source, it's sound that you can see the source of on camera. So if you can hear like a road noise, but you can see the road, then it makes sense in your to the viewer. Whereas if you can hear something that you can't see, you're like, what is that? It immediately takes you out of it. But if you can hear a road and you can see a road, your brain just goes, oh, that's the sound of the road.
What's the word called again?
Diegetic. Diegetic, yeah.
There we go.
Which I think it means it's produced by something that's seen on camera, I believe. I might have to look that up.
And I quite like it when something plays with that. I was watching something recently, I can't remember what it was, but some music started and then the camera panned over and someone was playing a violin.
Okay. Have you been in any scenarios like this in the real world?
Yeah, I've done acting
the AI
stuff.
World?
Yeah, you start getting into all sorts of little difficulties, and I think it's just about how you kind of self-manage them and trying not to let it spiral out of control. Oh God, this noise now, and the light here, and like you were saying, wrecking things for the actors and throwing them off. So it's keeping quite a close track on, right, well, I've got a really good wide, I can use all of that. So if we're consistently having an issue, now it's too bright on one of the actors, well, I'm going to have to lean on the wide a bit more. So because I don't want to keep asking them to do something and I can't keep dragging it out while we wait for cloud cover again. But yeah, it's a peril of being outside, isn't it? We haven't got the budget to have a massive diffuser on a crane, like you'd have on a film. So
there's an actor's show rule, and then there's an actor who wants to be an actor's show rule, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah,
we're just looking at the nuts and bolts of their performance, basically.
You want it to look good,
but you want it to make it as great as you can, considering the environment.
That's it. Yeah,
and then everyone will be happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Matthew, have you been in any environments such as this?
Yeah, loads of things. In fact, I had really early in my career, we were doing like a low budget drama thing, and the location scout had found loads of great locations, sent it on a group email, and the sound engineer went, nope, flight path. Like straight away knew. I was like, no, this is in this area of London. We're going to be pausing every like 20 seconds because it's like flights at Heathrow. But yeah, straight away was like in the pre-planning stage was like flight path. That's going to be a pain in the neck. So yeah, getting out in front of it beforehand, thinking about things like this beforehand. Like actually, could we be a few miles away and it'll be a lot quieter and we're not being interrupted all the time. Sort of thing that's useful to have up front. But yeah, I've had things where trying to shoot people in really bright sunny days where they're like squinting. Having to squint because it's so bright, and that's when like a diffuser like that comes in really handy.
So I guess not many short films by students have been made near Heathrow where they live.
Parts. Okay, they probably do, but I would avoid if I could avoid a location that I knew was under a flight path. I would just because knowing that you've got constant interruptions just annoys everybody.
Okay, thanks guys. That brings us to another close. It was short and sweet, but nice. Lots of helpful information in it.
Hope so.
So yeah, if you're viewing and listening, do with that what you will, and hopefully it will be a success. So let's go to socials. Geoff,
Okay.
where can people find you?
They can find me at silvertipfilms.co.uk or at silvertipfilms on most platforms.
Matthew, where can we find you?
You can find me at mattboxfilm.com.
Perfect. All right. Thanks, gents.
Thank you.
Look forward to getting you back in here very soon. And
Yeah,
we
great.
shall dissect another scenario.
Brilliant.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
for having us.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, please share it with others, whichever platform you're watching or listening on. If you've got any thoughts, questions, ideas for future episodes, then drop me a comment below or email me at martin@shotandstrungfilms.com. In next week's episode, we're going to be breaking down how to film a multi-camera roundtable discussion at an insurance firm. This one involves a glass-walled meeting room, so we'll be navigating the usual pitfalls, reflections, reverb, and a backdrop full of passers-by. So if you've ever had to make a fishbowl look clean and polished on camera, this one's for you.